I'm going to show you how to install the cheapest vanity I could find from Lowe's. I know I'm pretty cheap. I was going to initially build a floating vanity, but I'm running out of time on this project and I need to get it done before I have to move. So this is what you get. Cheap vanity. It came with the drain. It came with the sink for like 150 bucks. It is made out of particle board, but it'll do. Started out getting my laser level out and getting my center line on my vanity and on my wall marked, and then I thought I should probably do the plumbing before I put this vanity in my way. So if that wasn't a hint for you, I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm just winging this. I'm just a DIY guy who watched too many videos just like you're doing and figured, that doesn't look that hard. Anyways, back to the project. That little rigid cutout tool, pretty handy for those stub outs. And then I went ahead and threw the valves on there. For some reason, I always need to go an extra turn from what I think is tight enough on those compression valves. Next up, breaking out the Sawzall and chopping off the wall drain cap that I got on there so we can get our compression fitting glued up and ready for our wall tube. Tip for that primer and glue, leave it in the box it comes in. You have a less likely chance of tipping the whole box over. Ask me how I know. All right, back to the vanity. So I lined up my center lines that I made earlier, and then I fastened the back of the vanity into the studs. Apply a good bead of silicone onto the top of the cabinet and then onto the back of the countertop, which is also the sink. Make sure everything's lined up, and then onto the faucet, which was also another cheap find from Lowe's. It was actually almost as much as the vanity. I think it was $89, but it came with the drain also. First step here, you got to open it up, take the instructions, and then toss them to the side because you're not actually going to read them, let's be honest. One thing to pay attention to when you're picking out faucets at the store, make sure your faucet type matches your countertop type. In this case, it's a 3-hole center set, not the wide set. Then you're going to take your faucet, throw it in the hole. That's what she said. Anyways, then onto the drain. This is a push button drain. It's pretty neat. It's got a gasket on the top. You just plop it right in that hole. And then you have a plastic nut, a plastic washer, and then a rubber gasket that goes on the bottom in that order, and screw it in from the bottom. Now onto the home stretch. We got some basic plumbing to do under the sink. We'll get the whole P-trap installed. I go to throw this wall tube in, too long, had to cut it down a little. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. I didn't get a video of it, but I also installed the water lines, in case you're wondering. The only thing I ended up switching out on this vanity was the cabinet pulls, and it was a cosmetic issue. There was nothing wrong with the ones that came with it, but everything else in this room is white and black themed, so I swapped the silver ones out and installed some black ones. Last but not least, broke out the caulk gun, made this piece seamless with the wall, filling in any of those gaps and voids you have from the wall to the vanity. Once I get that thin bead applied, I actually like to grab a spray bottle, spray all of my beads, and then take my finger to it and wipe it down. Anywhere you have that water sprayed, that caulk's not going to stick, so it keeps you from having a super wide caulk line whenever you wipe it with your finger. But make sure you have all of your voids filled before you spray it with that water, because any of that water that gets in there isn't going to fill a void. And there you have it. Get this mirror hung up and the bathroom's nearly complete. Got to finish some trim work and then install the bathroom shower door, which I've never done before, so we'll give it a shot.